What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with this upcoming week, there's two data points to really watch for, both linked to consumers. One is on Wednesday, that is ADP non-farm employment. 175,000 is the forecast. And then on Friday, you have payroll. So in the past, like, those two data points have been absolutely solid, showing that consumers are out there still making the money, earning the money, and all the fun jazz. And that obviously is very directly correlated to SoFi, so that could really stand to benefit. Aside from that, this whole week is going to be more of a technical driven week. So in SoFi's case, kind of hit and miss, but I'm going to talk on that in a second. Fear and greed index is at 48, so kind of stabilized from the tail end of last week. So people's appetite for risk is somewhat there, but what just came out might blow this out of complete proportion. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. SoFi, there hasn't been any recent news, no SEC filings. They're not really participating in any conferences or anything along those lines for this week. So SoFi is just going to be at the mercy of the broader market and the data points. So kind of that's how it's been. Plus you just add a dash of manipulation and there you go. That's what you get with SoFi. On Friday, shorts did return 1.33 million shares. And this is where I might have misspoke. So I did a video on Friday and I guess I said that shorts didn't really have to do anything. That's why they kind of returned. I just wanted to clarify, when SoFi was close to $7, this is where shorts were actually active and increasing their position first thing. You can kind of see that from the intraday, but obviously with the broader market pulling it back, this is where shorts didn't really have to do anything at that stage. So that's why they felt it justified to return some shares and kind of piggyback off of the negative momentum in the market. So that's what I kind of meant based on that. But for this upcoming week, though, looking at the open interest for June the 7th, so that's encumbering this upcoming week, you already do see walls at the 7, 750, and 8. So currently 17,000 at the 7, 12,000 at the 750, and then 11,000 at the 8. As I always say, typically the first trading day, you do see a bump up in the closest strike price by about 30 to 40%. So it's going to be another strong wall, but it's not over because this week just got very, very interesting. It might be premature to talk on, but I do feel that this week is going to be interesting because it's going to have some correlation with shorts, and shorts might be shitting themselves right now because this was just posted 2 hours ago. 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. I'm sure some of you may or may not be aware of who he is, but he just posted this saying that obviously his position in GameStop and that he does have $65 million in calls. June 21st, 2024, expiry date, $20 strike price. So he is going all in on GameStop. So some of you might be wondering, Cal, what the hell are you talking about? This is a SoFi video. Why are you even bringing up GameStop? Well, there's a big correlation. For those of you that do remember, 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 kind of came back after a 3-year hiatus and the stocks went crazy, including SoFi. Anything that was being heavily shorted and just overdone, they went up like crazy. So as you can kind of see, 14th and the 15th of May, SoFi had probably one of the most epic runs it did have in a while. Unfortunately, it didn't really last all that long, but still nonetheless, with 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 being very active today and this being posted 2 hours ago, I'm sure that shorts are already shitting themselves. So this week, again, was more of a, just looking at the data points, a technical driven week. But now you add a splash of this, retail, and shorts closing some of the positions, because what does happen is, I'm not saying whoever's shorting SoFi is also shorting GameStop, but I'm sure there is some overlap in some cases, some entities. So whenever they're trying to mitigate risk, let's say GameStop goes up a considerable amount, to mitigate risk, they close out positions across the board. And so that is where you do get kind of scenarios like this. So I normally like to look at fundamentals and just the technicals and go based on this, but this video is more of a tinfoil hat, like, hey, this is where we might have a squeeze because of 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 coming back. And I believe he's actually taken like a week off. I don't think he posted or did all that much this last week. So you know what, this week went from interesting, or I guess kind of somewhat boring, to a very interesting week. So potentially, even though this wall is somewhat large, it might not matter all that much. So definitely just take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But aside from all of that, just looking on the actual chart itself, with it at $6.90, same as what I mentioned on my last couple of videos, $6.79 will be that next strong support. Did bounce off of that general area the last 2 consecutive trading days, so both on Thursday and Friday. So at least we know that strong support. And then vice versa, $6.99 is that next strong resistance / target, and then as well that $7, which is linked to options. But we'll just have to wait and see. I think based on everything and on the actual chart itself, SoFi is considered very oversold based on the stochastic. Number of retail investors haven't been doing all that much. They've been somewhat flat. Maybe just waiting on some external points or something like that, rate cuts. One thing as well, I just wanted to bring this up actually, because I did update. So as of September 18th, now this has gone up, and plus there's a 6.4% likelihood of at least a 50 basis point cut by then. And then as well, it did go up from, I think it was like 35 to now 45.7% for a 25 basis point cut. So I think there's a little bit of optimism in the broader market, so that could really help SoFi. So all in all, let me know your thoughts. Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you doing with SoFi? And my apologies once again on, I guess, the timeliness of this video being late, but better late than never. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.